Okay, I'm very excited to be here, honestly. It will be a hard presentation for me. So, first of all, thank you very much for this beautiful organization, Jana and Marie-Helen. Honestly, in our small world, we are doing something. We are working about places, architecture, but recognizing from the outer of Turkey, it's very valuable for us. So it's make very sense. It's make very courage for us. I will thank you. This is very important for us. Also, I want to base my presentation about a little bit about myself, about my history, because we are doing architecture, just showing some projects without any personal context. It's not so meaningful for me. That's why these two idea, persona and geography, I think those two are very, very important, because you can change your geography, and the persona, who you are, is also very important. So knowing where you live, what's your territory, and who you are, it's shaping your work. So that's why also understanding yourself, your geography, is very, very important for doing something like that. Architecture is a very hard job, and it's about people. That's why for me, it's very, very important to understand what to do, understand the site, understand the client, understand the problem. So, of course, architecture is not so simple. You can divide it in two, but I think these 2 points are very important. Also, very well speech from Ibn Haldun, geography is destiny. In Turkish, we use it oft. Coğrafya kaderdir. This word has, honestly, a negative impulse, normally, but I'm understanding in a positive way. That means for me, whatever you do, just understand before and construct it, whatever you do, on this understanding. This is very important, because destiny seems like something you can't change, but you can change it. If you understand what you are making people, it could be opportunity. If you don't understand, it's a huge treat. That's why understanding and dealing with this geography, also yourself, it's the key point of architecture, I think. Believe or not, at the left side, this is me. I was 4 years old, and this is my father at the center. My family was a worker family. They were moved in early 70s to Germany as a worker family, and I was the first child of this family. And my father was a photographer. Of course, in Germany, he doesn't able to do this. He was a worker, and he took this photograph. I choose the suite, and I remember very, very clearly how I feel inside this suite. It was a brown one, it was warm, and I was crazy about it. This texture, this identification, this closeness of the material was one of my first impressions of the childhood. This two geography, I should explain it, because moving a Turkish family to Germany as a worker, and the family was settled on this small German town, Kiel. It's the borderline to Strasbourg. So it was some kind of duality. In German, it's a small town, but you cross a river, Rhine, and you are in the Strasbourg, it's totally different country. It's not so far away. The people looks like same, but it's not. It's everything different. Then after I moved when I was 7 to Antakya. This is another border city, the border city to Syria. And again, the same thing, the duality, Aleppo and Antakya. It was not far away. You can drive with car just with 20, 25 minutes. So this contrast, I mean, these two geographies, it's somehow strange. You live in one geography and you move there, and the duality is double. You see the first one, Antakya is also a river city with Asi. It's very interesting, very organic, historic one. Also a Roman roots. And the Kiel, with a very humble German small town. So I think it's very important to know who you are. It's not easy to also for me recognize, but it took years and years, and this is an important beginning point. This is a sketch of my son. His name is Yalin. And the word Yalin means in English, simple, lean, maybe basic. But I think the best foreign language covers the German one, schlicht. Okay, Yalin is also our office's name. I should say Yalin, simple, lean. We are trying to be, but it's something you never could be. Also, I should say in Turkey, geography like that, it's not easy to do this. Also, the complexity, what we are doing, it's not allowing to be Yalin. So it's a paradoxical name. You want to be, but it's impossible to be. This is our team. It's a very small team with maximum 10, 12 people, small office in Bosphorus, in Istanbul. Also, the office are done by ourselves with small, simple wooden pieces, all this furniture, etc. Also, my partner, Okan, is an urbanist, also sitting here, there and listening us. Hi. So, that's the short story of our office. I want to continuously show you some context of Anatolia, which we are in relation as a project. This is in Cappadocia, and this image fascinates me because of the landscape. You see in horizon a stone mine. I will talk about later. But what fascinates me in this image, the landscape in front. This is some stone pieces taken from the stone mine, and they were useless. They covered this landscape piece. And you see also some stone chimneys. They are under protection. And look at this. It's beautiful. It's non-design landscape. You can't do it better. So maybe you took some pieces from here and you can create a very simple place. This is another site. This is the archaeological site of Troy. Very famous legend by Homer's Iliad. But I like archaeological sites. You see here very different kind of stoneworks, maybe 7, maybe 8, and you see the layers and how they come together. It's very, it has a very big energy, so it could be also a reference for a project. Another site, this wall is approximately 2,500 years old. This is the wall for protection for Byzantium Empire, also the Ottoman Empire. This is the wall for Topkapı Sarayı. But look carefully about how they restore the wall. I mean, they don't make some stone pieces, just the woodworkers took some pieces on the wall. It's not design, but what could be better than this? Took some wood pieces and they fill the wall structure, and some of these pieces of stone are 1,000 years old, some of are 2,000 years old, and some just from Ottoman times to 200 years. That's the energy of non-design. This is an entrance from a 3.5 million years cave. I like the contrast, this light outside and the dark inside, and look at the landscape. It's very interesting and poetic. You go outside and you can't imagine what you see. It's very interesting. Another one, in Konya, this is an 800 years old mosque. Stone walls, but inside a wooden structure. It's non-architectural, it's not designed one, but it's amazing, the space, the skylight, which allows to fall the snow. It's very, very interesting, and it's contemporary. It's still current, and it's still very good. This is a Roman arch, also 2,000 years old, from Manisa. I like the brickwork here. It's not usual to find a brickwork like that, 2,000 years old. That's how they do it, and the stone sizes and the connection. It's something there to understand and to use. I like it. This is a wild olive garden, 1 million square meter in Izmir, and we have here 12,000 olive trees, but it's not agriculture. Some of them are 2,000 years old, some of them are new. It's a living nature. So those are some contexts. It's not possible to tell you how Anatolia Bridge is, but those examples could give you some impression. Okay, some project. This is a stone mine which we designed. This is a stone mine which we designed. This is in Cappadocia, and you see at the right side a stone face which we cut. Look again, back. Can I back? Okay. This machine is invented just for this, because the stone is so smooth, you can cut it so easily, you can shape it, you can collect it. That's the project. We staff them together. You look at the size of the, look at the size of the stone. Each stone is approximately 6 stone weight. And we collect them, and we made with these stones a project. This is I showed before. This is the stone mine in Cappadocia. It's approximately 100 years old. You can imagine, this was a hill. They took stone by side, and you can see also, they also collect some stone around. So the problem is making a museum of Cappadocia in this site. So our idea was protecting the stone mine. This is how it is. We opened just a little bit, not so much, and we try to make a continuous going circulation inside. Also, you see some staff of stones that we collect from the stone mine, and we block the circulation for the whole museum circulation and continuation. This is what you see inside. Also inside you see some cracks from machines. We protect also them as a sign. This is also interesting, one of the interesting images, because this image shows the history of the mine. Because you see some very long cuts, very steppy cuts. This shows how they cut, how they use, how they take the stone 100 years before, 80 years before, 50 years before. That's why it's very interesting for me. Oops. Okay, the idea, what we are following is this. We are converting this part as a new stone mine. We are taking, covering, collecting, and then we are building with those stones this entrance center. And this entrance allows protect the original rock, because normally you don't want to go with buses, with cars nearby a stone like that. It functions like that. You come with car, with bus, you go inside, this is an open structure, you go up with a ramp, and then you are entered the museum. You walk, and this is the museum, and all the landscape also belongs to the... Of course, it's very difficult to build in this way, because it's an ancient technique, and no one knows how to put those stones together. Because one stone, the idea is 3 stones and 5 meters, because we want to have some structural, huge rooms, structural. And this was, there are many, many tries. This was one of the first tries, 3 stones together, put them. It took 1 day, because we didn't have this information. And this is nearly by the end. And we decided also by sight, some textures, some corner details, etc. Some of them are impossible to draw on paper. This was the important point. That's why we were so many. We have had many site visits. So this is one of the best try. You see here the structure and the scale. We have a concrete base protecting from the rain, from the snow, because it's a very snowy region. And this is the texture. I like it. This is concrete. Normally, we explode the concrete facade, and we try to have a kind of similarity. They want to clean all the facades, stone facade. We said, stop it, because in the project was something like that. We keep as it is. So this is the final texture. This is from the inside visitor center. These are some rooms. This is, for example, just for tea. This is a restaurant. So this is the passage, and you pass this part, and then you enter the museum. And this was one of the early image with this concrete slab on top. And those are the rooms. No window. All the windows are oriented to the semi-open part of the, and this is the, sorry, okay, this is the stone storage. You see these stones are in a car scale, and this is the visitor center. Okay, so it looks like from inside, from outside in this way, and another one from an artificial cave to a natural cave. I showed also this image from outside, inside. This is what we did. A stone wall and steel roof for protecting fallen stones. And this is in Zonguldak, in northern Turkey. And there is a highway, and Zonguldak is famous with coal mines, coal mines. And also, Zonguldak has a kind of geography that allows more than 40 caves, because it's a geological character for that. And this one, Gökgöl cave, is 3.5 million years old, and it's approximately 4 kilometers long. And the problem is making a visitor center, collecting people, and orienting them to the entrance of the cave. This was the idea. So coming with bus, with car and parking and going inside, and the idea is following, very simple one, collecting the visitors and facing them with this beautiful rocky line, and making a continuous going circulation, human-made, we can call it a human-made cave, and orienting the visitors to the entrance of the cave, and then orienting again outside. This was the idea. This was some model photographs. This is the inside, and this is the landscape on this visitor center. This stonework is very interesting because we took the stone in the other side of the hill. So you can see in the next image maybe, you have a very very near similarity with the texture of this existing rocky character. So this is the landscape. Here you see the entrance of the cave, and this is the entrance of the visitor center. You are parking. It's kind of semi-hidden landscape. We can call it so. Okay, again, with concrete, with bus stop and the entrance and the landscape character. And this was the idea from the first sketch. There are two caves. One is very short here. It's not going so long, but the main entrance is here. And we use all those stonework from the excavation also. It's just a protection shelter. You go inside and then the building orients you to the entrance of the cave. This is the idea. And this was the main goal for us, facing with this beautiful texture of rock. And it was very hard to do this because it's so narrow to a rock building. It's a hard job. Also, we use some furniture element as the rocks. And this is the exhibition. It's a very simple one. It's just a passage. You go through this passage and it's continuously orients you to the entrance of the cave. This is the idea. And this is the landscape, finally, the entrance situation and the gap between the rock. Another project, I love this texture, because that's why I'm beginning with this. I love this texture because this is a very hard-looking project. And it's the Museum of Troy. This is a steel facade, which is shaped, which is changing its color, its texture, by wind, by salt, by weather. So that's why I like it. This was a competition project, a national one. 140 project was participated, and our idea was very simple one: going down with a ramp and reaching in the street level, and going up again with a ramp. And all this exhibition stuff is collected in this rusty block, like an artifact, like a terracotta artifact, maybe. This is the building. You come, park here, collecting the visitors. You go with a ramp down. This is the street level. And the landscape goes. This is our side. Also, the outside in the garden, we have something. Okay. This is the, oh, sorry. This is the site Troy. It's 1 kilometer away. You park here, you visit the museum, and you walk, or your bus takes you and you go to the site. This is very important. Turkey has many different ancient cities, but Troy is one of the populars. I mean, the Ephesus and the Troy has more than 1 million visitors. But it's not easy to understand the ancient city Troy. Yeah. If you go as a visitor, you should have a real good guide. That's why the museum has this mission. You come to the museum, you visit it, and you have some questions, but not everything. You have also some very hard questions when you go outside. This is also important for the curation. It's a long-standing object in the landscape. The entrance ramp situation, very simple materials, some concrete, some stones. Also inside we have just concrete and wood material. And it's very important, the circulation, how you move in this museum. You go down with the ramp, it's a stretched entrance situation, and you go up always with the ramp. It's just a 6-person slope. It's very easy to go. And this ramp takes you to the exhibition halls, also to the roof. And you have finally an overview, very wonderful, very good, very nice, very open overview to the Homeric landscape site, Troy. And this is the construction. I like constructions. I like constructions while I don't see the construction phase as a ended phase. It's a part of the design, and it should be reflected also to the building. These panels are isolated concrete panels, and they are spiral, following the ramp construction, and also the windows are insulated. Just the panel comes, and the glass panel comes, and it's finished. This was the idea. This is inside. Temporary exhibition. It's 9 meters underground, ground level. This is very important. And this is my favorite picture. While those women are real Trojans. Those are coming from the fields, from tomato fields, and visiting the museum because it's their museum. I saw also in their eyes, because it was a big deal to build this museum in Troy. That's why it's very important for me. Okay, inside. Also with the terracotta pieces, some pitos from storage, for storage. And also the museum looks like from far away, very different, because of the landscape is moving, and it's mostly an agricultural territory, I should say. This one is a 1 million square meter olive, I say it's garden, it's not garden, but it's a huge olive garden. And you see here some very interesting stone walls, because they are not getting artificial water. That's why when rain drops, these stone walls can collect water. This is very interesting. And this project is about reading nature, not doing so much, but reading nature. That's why this was also a competition project. I like drawing, I like sketching. And one of the most important points for understand, because the olive tree is very interesting. Every tree is different. Look at them, and I tried to draw them. This is the part of the understanding, I think. And this is the competition board which we sent to the jury. It's an anonymous jury, no rendering, nothing, no image. Just it's a 2 meter panel. We call it in Turkish, it's a miniature. I don't know the French word, but it's an isometric drawing. And there is no design, but there are too many information on it. So it's the relation with the site. Here's an olive tree like that, here's a cut, here's a water line, here's a hill, etc., etc. So the jury comes inside the panels, and then they decide, okay, we don't need maybe real design. And we won the competition. It's like that. If I go 12, 30 times to the site, and each time was different. Each time you learn something from. Because for a city guy, nature is something far away. But if you go inside, every place is very, very different. This is, I think, very important. This is the design. Just for the entrance hall, and we use just wood elements for it. You go inside from here, you need some VCs, you need some security, parking area, a visitor center, and cafeteria. That's all. And we have a stone library, because the region Izmir has a very rich library of stone, maybe 42 different kind of stone, masonry types. So this is the entrance situation, and then the visitors go with this information to the park. And the other point, we don't use a constructor. We use the ability of the municipality. I mean, these photos are from the atelier from municipality. You know, municipalities are repairing some banks, some wood pieces, etc. We just use their ability. They have some steel pieces. They have many woods, pine, 10 to 20. And we try to understand their ability. What can they do? in their atelier. What can they construct? This was the idea, and then we do in this way. We do in the site some signage. This is me. We place them, we try them. That was very also funny. And we also had some connection with the surrounding village, and we do everything together. This was very important for us. This is the stone library. This is the landscape. Those are 9 different kind of stones, all real stones from site, taking and with real masonry workers, we do them. This is the visitor center, wooden one. It's a courtyard. You go inside, it's an open structure. This is the VC. Each panel is a VC cabin. You go inside, and this is the technical part. It's a very simple structure, no isolation. And this is inside the VC. It's oriented to the green. This is very important. Yeah, something like that. From this, From this to an infill project, this structure is, I showed you this beautiful wooden field structure. This is the historical wall of Istanbul. And the idea is following, very creative one. The excavations and the restorations going at the same time, and is it possible to do this? Ongoing excavation and restoration is very exciting. You can go inside as a visitor. You can have a journey inside an excavation. This was the idea. I think we had the opportunity to build this. This is just a part of the project. It's 2.5 kilometers long. This is the site. You see the length of the wall. This is the Topkapı Palace. These are some very, very interesting old plans from the wall. And you have some information here, some history. It's the distance is very small. You don't have this maneuver, so you have to use these gaps to place your facilities. This was the existing situation. The constructor, the restoration group, used this kind of structure. I think it's fascinating what they are doing. It's not designed. Normally, architects come and design some real huge glass structure, but I like that so much. This structure is living. It's not fixed. You come one week and the other week it's not there because they move it. It's flexible. It's a living structure. They use the same material. They cut it. They hang it. They can do everything with it. And it's a really good design beginning point, I think. And this was the idea, reacting, passing to the excavation, using different ways, moving, removing, building a roof, something like that. This was the site, for example. This was the entrance situation and the ruins. And you see here different layers of history. This is Byzantium, and this part is from Ottoman time. So this was the idea, for example. You go inside. This is a wooden structure, reactive, sitting up, sitting down. You come from here, circulation, going a little bit down. You up, and then it's a circulation with some protection element. That was the idea. So, some kind. Maybe. Also, inside this wall, there are some places for events, for exhibition, etc. This was also a point for design. Another one, before I finish, this is which we want to begin next month for the construction. Manisa is nearby Izmir. It's a very chanceless city. In 1920, there was a big fire because of the war, and there was nothing left from the city. And this place is for the fire, for the memory, for the history. And those images are from the fire. The whole city was burned. Nothing was left, just the Ottoman time buildings. And this is the idea. It's a rectangle place, geometry land, and we try to use brick elements for this project. Some rooms, some places which are connected, and each one has a theme from history, and you pass to one and go to the other one, and go to the other one, and it's continuous going circulation. It's a semi-underground building. Manisa has a very strong tradition from brick. They are the second big producer for the brick material. Those images are also from Ottoman time, before Ottoman time. Also, okay, you see the model, the places, they are just traditional builded domes, walls, arcs, etc. There are no concrete ceilings. And then at the end, we have at the top a green roof, which could be public. This is the section from entrance and other rooms and the connections. These are some places, some rooms, some different kind of atmospheres we are following because we want to tell a story about Manisa, and this story has different tension. So it's not a whole one space, it's a piece of spaces with different lights, heights, and feelings. This was the idea. This is the entrance. This is one of the rooms. And this is outside, what you see. And am I out of time? No? It's okay. Okay. This is the plan. And finally, I will show you our latest project in Konya. This is a library project. I like this ancient planimetric relations. They are so simple, but they are so efficient. So the idea for the project is creating some rooms inside the garden and making a center, a head place for the books, and connecting them with some bridge. And those are those are some examples for the structures. This is from Konya, a beautiful mosque. This mosque I show you at the entrance. It's a wooden structure. It's very organic and it's very simple. It's useful how they do it. It's not complex. So this is the idea. This is an existing tree formation, and this is the main entrance situation. This and one-story small rooms. Some of them are 100 square meters, some of them 500 square meters. It's penetrating to the green place. This is the street. Then opening street with some social facilities and the entrance of the library. This is the library hall, the big hall, with some maisonette and with the small hippodrome at the center. These are some rooms with some different kind of materials, concrete, wood, etc. And yeah, this is the inspiration from the Eşrefoğlu Mosque I saw at the beginning, and the rooms has this wide relation to the park. This is the model, how they come together, and this is the sketch finally. Okay, so I'm finished. I will thank you all my team because because big or small, it's a teamwork. You need many people for doing something like that. So thank you.